karma contract is a ritualistic and symbolic process of engaging with the karmic web, or the universal system of cause and effect that governs spiritual energy. In essence, it acts as a petition to the metaphysical forces of balance, asking for a just response to a wrong or a negative impact on your life, as well as a way to consciously release or transform negative energy in a way that promotes healing and spiritual equilibrium. Within the Lycancraft tradition, this process is understood not simply as spiritual reaction, but as intentional authorship of one's energetic narrative. A karma contract is an agreement between you, the individual affected by negative energy, and the karmic web, the universal forces that govern cause and effect. This contract serves as a way of balancing out the spiritual scales when you've been wronged, or when negative energy is directed at you. Rather than attempting to control outcomes or force consequences upon others, the contract acknowledges that the practitioner's primary power lies in interpretation, response, and transformation. The contract works by identifying the offense or negative energy that has been sent toward you, assigning a spiritual or ritualistic act as a response to the harm or offense, which serves both as a remedy for the negativity and as a means of restoring balance to your psyche, requesting that the karmic web either allow the negativity to continue with consequences or stop it, depending on the agreement. The first step in creating a karma contract involves identifying and documenting the offense. This can be any form of negative energy directed at you, whether it's an intentional act of harm, deceit, emotional manipulation, or just an overall draining of your spiritual energy. The documentation can be written on paper, metal, or any other material that you feel resonates with the energy of the act. In Lycancraft philosophy, the material used can influence how the practitioner perceives the energetic weight of the situation. For example, metal may symbolize permanence, paper impermanence, and natural materials' connection to living cycles. This written record serves as both a statement of the wrongdoing and a formal petition for the karmic web to acknowledge it. The act of writing externalizes internal experience, creating distance from emotional overwhelm and transforming subjective feeling into structured declaration. Example: offense statement. This individual has sent negative energy toward me, causing me emotional harm and spiritual imbalance. Through their actions, they have brought unnecessary pain into my life. In the karma contract, you then assign a response to the offense, something you feel will balance out the spiritual disturbance caused by the negative energy. This response is a ritualistic or symbolic act that represents your attempt to restore balance or relieve the negativity. Within Lycancraft, the symbolic action does not derive power from physical impact alone, but from intention, repetition, and the meaning attributed by the practitioner. For example, cutting down sapling trees could symbolize your choice to to release the negative energy by transforming it into something physical, like the cutting of trees, which could represent a sacrifice, or an act of reclamation of your own energy. Example, response statement. In order to restore balance, I feel compelled to go into the woods and cut down 5 sapling trees. This action serves to release the negative energy and bring spiritual healing, transmuting the harm that was sent my way. Once the offense is documented and the response is chosen, the next step is to petition the Karmic Web for a just response. This clause asks the Karmic Web to either allow the individual to continue affecting you or to prevent them from doing so, depending on the agreement. If the Karmic Web agrees to the terms, it acknowledges that the negative energy can be transmuted and used for your spiritual benefit. This stage reinforces surrender to balance rather than dominance over it. Karmic Judgment Clause. If the Karmic Web agrees to these terms, allow this individual to continue their actions in an unwarranted or unjust manner. If the Karmic Web does not agree, do not allow this individual to bring harm to my spiritual psyche any further. Should the Karmic Web not agree, then this contract will be transformed into a protective talisman that shields me from further harm. If the Karmic Web grants your request and acknowledges your contract, the negative energy that was directed toward you can be transacted or converted according to your will. The act of cutting the saplings, or whatever symbolic act you choose, could be seen as a transaction of sorts, where you expend energy to transform the negative into something neutral. Within Lycancraft theory, this establishes a feedback loop where perceived attacks become opportunities for conscious transformation. Whenever the individual directs negative energy toward you, you now have the right to cut down 5 saplings as an act of spiritual release. However, by choosing to spare the saplings instead, you demonstrate compassion, transforming the negative energy into positive karmic credit with each attack. This act of mercy turns the harm directed at you into an opportunity to acquire positive karma credit. Example, transformation statement. Should the Karmic Web grant approval, allow me the option to transmute the negative energy sent my way, not through the act of cutting down 5 saplings, but by instead converting this energy into a positive reservoir of karmic credit for my spiritual growth and protection. If the Karmic Web disagrees with the contract or does not respond in the desired way, the contract becomes a protective talisman, ensuring that the negative energy cannot continue to harm you. This talisman might be a physical object, like the paper or metal on which you wrote the contract, or it could be an energetic shield that manifests around you. Protective talisman statement. If the Karmic Web does not agree with the terms, let this contract serve as a powerful protective talisman, shielding me from further harm and preventing the individual from sending unwarranted negative energy toward me. Balance and transmutation. The karma contract aims to bring balance to the spiritual realm by transforming negative energy into something positive or neutral. It's not about revenge, but about spiritual equilibrium. Lycancraft teaches that transformation is the highest expression of power because it alters the practitioner rather than attempting to force external change, intent, and ritual. The act of writing the contract, performing the ritual, and petitioning the karmic web is a symbolic way of releasing negative energy and asserting your spiritual autonomy. Over time, repeated practice strengthens psychological resilience and reinforces a narrative of empowered response. Karmic agreement. The karmic web is seen as a neutral force that acknowledges the contract, offering a response based on the spiritual law of cause and effect. Whether interpreted metaphysically or psychologically, this external reference point helps the practitioner move beyond reactive thinking. A karma contract is a way to consciously interact with the energies around you, asserting your rights to spiritual peace while acknowledging that the universe must maintain balance. Whether or not you believe in the literal karmic web, the contract can be a powerful tool for personal reflection, emotional release, and spiritual protection, helping you regain a sense of agency in situations where you feel spiritually attacked or drained.